We just wrapped up the Montana Energy Summit and was wondering if you just give me a few brief words about how you think it went.
Well, we had tremendous response to the summit. This is an issue that's so important for Montana and for our future. Montana has a tremendous future ahead of us with abundance of coal, of oil, of natural gas, as well as hydro, wind, and even solar potential, as well as biomass. So we really are an all-of-the-above energy state. The challenge we face right now, our biggest threat, is literally coming from the Beltway of Washington, D.C., the EPA and President Obama, who have put forward this clean power plan. I call it the EPA power plan. It's a power grab that is really going to dictate our way of life here in Montana, instead of allowing Montanans through innovation to sort this out and drive our future forward. What will happen here because of the EPA, we likely will see the closure of the coal strip units. That's $145 million of tax revenues we lose every year that go to schools and teachers. It's 7,000 lost jobs. It was really interesting, Peter. We had the Boilermaker Union representatives there. We had the trade union representatives there. We had several union groups standing with us, as well as the tribes in Montana, fighting against this EPA power plan that's going to cost us thousands of jobs here in Montana. And the bottom line is the people who can afford it the least are going to get hurt the most by this.
Now, Senator Daines, on my newscast this morning, as you know, I do a news show every day. I had several stories that I put together. One was what's happening with Washington State and their what they want to do with Coal Strip 1 and 2. And then there were reports that Arch Coal and Peabody Coal are both cutting jobs in production. And the third story that dovetailed with that was 4,600 people furloughed from BNSF, the railroad, because of reduced supply. And I guess my question to you is right after this summit is over, it just seemed like an overwhelming multi-pronged attack on coal and Montana's energy.
Well, it is, and the answer going forward is not more regulation. The answer going forward is more innovation. We recall when when we were growing up in Montana, there was this cry that we were going to run out of oil. Nobody saw the innovation, American ingenuity coming of hydraulic fracturing that moved us to being now the number one producer of oil and liquids in the world. We surpassed Saudi Arabia and Russia, and that gives us a lot more energy security and national security and economic growth. You look at with the gas pump now, consumers can keep a lot more dollars in their pocket now instead of paying for it at the gas pump. And that was because of American innovation. The government had nothing to do with that. And similarly with coal, we can figure this out and moving towards clean coal technology. This is a very solvable problem. The irony is that 90% of the coal is burned outside the United States. And so when President Obama shuts down the coal industry, what he's doing is he's shutting down American leadership and innovation to drive clean coal technology and seeds that to the Chinese. So from a pure environmental viewpoint, we should be continuing to grow our coal industry here so that we are leading with clean coal technology and allowing countries like China and India to follow our lead in these technologies. Instead, he's going to kill it. It'll be devastating to our Montana economy.
I just saw your comment on what's going on over at the Pacific terminal. Another delay there.
Well, think about this. In fact, we had tremendous speakers at the Energy Summit. And we had a speaker from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce that shared the outlook for the next 35 years of energy in the world and in the United States. Here's the bottom line. There are going to be 2 billion more people added to this planet in the next 35 years. Energy demand is going to be up 85% between now and the year 2050. By the way, 2050 is not that far away. It seems like a long ways away. But, Peter, you look forward 35 years, you look backward 35 years. 35 years ago, I was a freshman at Montana State University studying chemical engineering. It seemed like it was just yesterday. And so going forward, coal consumption will be higher than it is today. Oil consumption will be higher than it is today. So will natural gas and so will renewables. And what Karen said when she gave this presentation is that the table is set for 2050. It's just the chairs are a lot bigger. In other words, we're still going to have basically the same portfolio and need for all these conventional sources of energy as well as renewables. And the question is, do we want to engage the United States and lead in this area, have more made-in-America energy versus more made-in-the Middle East energy? And if the president had his way, I think he'd keep every ounce of coal and every ounce of oil in the ground as well as natural gas versus continuing to engage in this global economy, because that will be good for our economy in Montana as well as good for the environment.